Even as India continues to battle the scourge of cross-border terrorism, a shocking revelation has emerged from the heart of the capital. The Delhi car bomb blast case has exposed a new breed of terrorists, educated, radicalized, and allegedly linked to Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed. The arrest of Dr. Umar Muhammad Nabi, a well-qualified professional accused of orchestrating this plot, reveals how Pakistan's terror infrastructure is now breeding white-collar jihadists. To discuss this evolving threat and its implications for regional security, I am joined by SP Vaid, former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir Police and a defense expert. Hello sir, welcome to Newsweek South Asia. So my first question is, the blast near Delhi's Red Fort has shaken the capital and raised serious questions about security and cross-border terror links. Could you first explain what we know so far about the incident and why investigators believe this was a deliberate, planned attack?
Picking up the investigation professionally, they were able to zero on a Maulvi on whose instruction this was being done, and also an employee of the medical college. On his disclosure, the names of some of the doctors figured, and the chain went up to Saharanpur, then Faridabad, Medical College, Anantnag, recoveries were made. So a whole module, a network of doctors was unearthed, and they were all arrested. On their disclosure, huge quantity of explosive, over 2,900 kgs of ammonium nitrate, which can be used as an explosive material, and also AK series rifles were recovered, I think 2 or 3, and some pistol, a lot of arms ammunition was recovered. Now, Jaish-e-Mohammed is a terror outfit based in Pakistan. Who is the creator of Jaish-e-Mohammed? It's the ISI of Pakistan. So the whole module actually is linked to Jaish-e-Mohammed, and that's why it traces back to Pakistan's ISI, Pakistan, the handler who was handling all these doctors, how they were radicalized. It is a well-planned conspiracy for huge terror network, creating mayhem. Probably, as per the interrogation reports, on 6th of December, when anniversary of Babri Masjid actually falls, and I think they were intending to create huge terror incidents, not only in Delhi, in all other parts of India, other cities of India, including Ayodhya, and planning to have massive casualties all across the country. So I think it was a well-planned terror module of doctors and others who were basically working at the instructions of Pakistan handlers. Yes.
The Delhi car bomb blast case has revealed that the main accused, Dr. Umar Nabi, was a medical professional. How do you see the phenomena of educated radicalization, where individuals with professional backgrounds get drawn into Islamist extremism?
See, that is very perplexing and very challenging for the security forces. A doctor is a highly qualified doctor, postgraduate, not only Dr. Umar, but other doctors also. And doctors are like scientists, highly qualified, rational mind, intelligent people. Earlier we used to see that the argument used to be that madrasa turned unemployed Muslim youths were getting radicalized. That is not true. This radicalization has actually involved highly qualified doctors who take oath to protect the humanity, protect the individuals, and they have turned from a doctor to a butcher. So it is a huge challenge to the security establishment of India. That's what I think we must go into how Pakistan ISI is radicalizing such a qualified section of society who are doctors, who have rational mind, who are well educated.
The Delhi car blast follows a familiar pattern. Sleeper cells, hybrid warfare, cross-border handlers. Is this part of Pakistan's new terror doctrine designed to hit Indian cities while denying involvement?
I think Pakistan this time has, the ISI has very cleverly chosen this terror module of doctors with without sending their own people from Pakistan, without sending arms and ammunition from Pakistan, which earlier they used to do in many of the terror incidents in Delhi and other parts of the country, since they were desperate that after Shri Narendra Modi's government in 2014, they were not able to execute major terror incidents in Delhi and other parts of the country, the hinterland of India, the mainland of India, other than Kashmir. Even Kashmir, they have, their network was actually to a very large extent broken by the security grid. But this time, they have used local boys, Kashmiri boys, who are our own boys, that too highly qualified doctors. And this module, even the ammonium nitrate, which is actually locally procured. So this particular cleverly established terror module of doctors has been used by Pakistan Intelligence Agency very cleverly, using our own human resource, using our own material source, without sending Pakistan, so that you are not able to trace Pakistan angle in this. But interrogation has revealed that these doctors have been going to Turkey, where handler has been, a Pakistani handler has been in touch with them. I think the traces will emerge as the investigation progresses. Yes.
How complicit do you think the ISI and Pakistan's military establishment are in sustaining these covert urban networks in India?
There is no doubt about Pakistan's complicity. Pakistan is getting encouraged with, if a rogue army chief, now CDS of Pakistan, Field Marshal, Fraud Marshal, some people call him, Asim Munir, have lunch with President Trump. You can imagine the kind of encouragement such a terror mind will get. So obviously he is getting encouraged with such moves by America. Already such elements have encouragement from China. So they must be thinking that we can, today is the time that we can do whatever we want with India, but they must understand India is not India of 1990s. This India of 2025, Operation Sindoor is in action. That is made very clear by our Honorable Prime Minister and Defence Minister. I don't think anybody can take India lightly, and very clear policy that any terror incident here would be taken as an act of war.
Thank you so much for giving us your time, sir.